Hey VC, Andy here. It would seem appropriate for me to do that usual joke about is it on? Is it on? Because I have just spent the last 5-10 minutes talking away to you guys, reviewing my albums, and the camera wasn't on. What an idiot. Anyway, um, CD and vinyl update for you. Not an 80s one. This is CDs and vinyl that I've picked up since the last one of these updates that I did. And let's get to it. A bit of a mixed bunch. The CDs are mostly secondhand, a couple of new ones, a lot of blind buys, some not so successful. So I'm going to probably go from the worst, cover the worst ones first, nice and quickly. So Sanctity and Sanctorum. Two bands I haven't got on with at all. So this is 2008 Ashes of Redemption and 2007 Road to Bloodshed. Both of them I was kind of led to believe when I saw the covers and did a quick Google search of them that they were thrash. This was a bit more sort of new metal, and they've both got the clean, harsh vocal style, and that's something that I don't get on with at all. So they'll be on eBay pretty soon. Another one, I've not made up my mind on this one yet. So this is God Forbid, Gone Forever. 2000 and blah, 2000 and do you know what? Even this is the second time I've done it. I couldn't figure out the year that time. 2004. There we go. So God Forbid. This is better. The music's really good, but again, I mean, I'm really touchy about my vocal style, and this band are a bit too shouty for me. I sound like my old man when he used to say that he couldn't understand the lyrics of couldn't understand the words when he used to I had my heavy metal on as a kid, and he'd be like, I can't understand the words, it's rubbish. Well, I kind of feel a little bit like this, but I think if I was in the right mood, that would probably be okay. So I'm going to give this one another go. Pantera is a band that I'm not familiar with at all. I've seen a few people review the vinyl box set that they've had out recently. So I saw this, couple of quid, thought get a compilation, see what I think about them, and it's not too bad. There's tracks of I think the 3 albums. Nice little booklet, so learned a bit more about the band than I did before. So there's 3 tracks off Cowboys from Hell, 4 from Vulgar Display of Power, 4 from Far Beyond Driven, and then 3 or 4 tracks, live tracks, movie soundtracks. But yeah, okay. I wouldn't push over an old lady on the street just to get to the record shop to buy one of their records. But if I came across one, I'd probably think about getting it. Obviously, a little bit less impressed with them after hearing about Phil Anselmo's antics today. Kind of puts me off them a little bit. But there we go. So yeah, Pantera compilation album. What happened to Megadeth in 1999? I showed Endgame. That was the first post-80s Megadeth album I bought a couple of videos ago, and loved it and thought, great. They didn't lose their mojo throughout the whole time I stopped listening to metal, but clearly they did. Awful. I listened to it once. Didn't sound like Megadeth at all. I don't know what band was actually on here, but I will give it another go. But this may well find itself on eBay as well. Having said that, one that won't. Rust in Peace, classic. Everybody knows this one. So this kind of carried on from their 80s success, I guess. So happy to add that to the collection. We'll look out for that on vinyl as well. New band for me, SinBreed. This is from 2010 on Alterium records. So I can't remember why I looked at these. I think I might have come across their latest video for the latest single. They've got an album coming out next month, so I might listen to that, and I thought I'd have a listen to their back catalogue. It's actually in the CD player at the moment. This I've played a lot. This is brilliant. This is German band, power metal, quite sort of melodic power metal, but really high tempo. Every song from first to the last but one, really good. Really enjoy this. I'm very tempted to pick up their latest album when it comes out, and they've got one other one. Can't remember what it's called now. Shadow or something. Yeah, so nice little booklet with it. Pictures of the band, lyrics, usual fare. I did read that they might even come under the Christian metal bracket. I know there's quite a few people that do metal videos on the VC that are like they're Christian metal. I don't really get that from the lyrics, but maybe I'm just missing the point. But it's a great music. I really like it. I'm definitely going to get some more of SinBreed. Last CD. This is by far the best of the lot. I would have played SinBreed a lot more if I had have got this one. So this is a band I came across on Bandcamp. I've been doing a lot of digging on Bandcamp recently, coming across new bands, listening to a lot of new music. It's great that you can also, you can send a message, and it's usually someone from the band that will reply if you've got questions about either the touring or whether they're going to release something on vinyl or CD even, because there's a lot of stuff that's just downloadable only. But one band that had a CD that was available is Final Sign, Hold High the Flame. So this was released last year, might be November, maybe a bit earlier. So the hype sticker on it says US metal vets deliver the goods for fans of October 31, Hellstar, Reverend and Exciter. And fans of October 31, the reason they would like it is because the main man of the band is Brian Hellstorm Williams, who's the guitarist of October 31. And this is great heavy metal music. I mean, it's not new wave or traditional heavy metal really, because these guys have been doing it for a long time. But also, I mean, what really makes this for me actually, and maybe even above October 31, which I do really like, is the vocalist Sean Paletta. His vocals are brilliant. Really, he seems to have a similar style, I'd say, to Bruce Dickinson. It doesn't sound like him, really, but just that style, just the way he sings, and you can tell I'm not a musician. Difficult to describe it, but just the sort of power he gets from his voice as well, and really suits this music. And every single song on here is really good. From Dare in the Sun, the opening track, Hold High the Flame, the title track, is, there's some great metal anthems on here. And even so from the second play, the songs felt familiar. I felt like I'd had this for quite some time. And if this came out on vinyl tomorrow, I'd pay whatever. I'd get it. It's brilliant. In fact, I would have liked to have bought this from the Bandcamp site, because it just feels like kind of good because you feel like you're giving the money directly to the band. But because it's a US release, I think it's about $10 on Bandcamp. But the postage was also maybe 10 or maybe even more, which seemed really steep to the UK from the US for one CD. But there were some sellers on Amazon in the UK that had it, so I managed to pick it up for a decent price. I would thoroughly recommend this for certainly if you like the October 31 albums. I think you'll love Final Sign. Really good. Okay, onto the vinyl. Armoured Saint, win hands down. Metal Blade Records. So this was released last year. Lots of people have shown this. So I kind of bought this. Saying it's a blind buy is probably wrong, because I know I'm a Saint. I like the earlier stuff, but I hadn't spent any time trying to listening to some of the newer stuff to see if I would really like this. And as a result, when I played it on, I thought it was one of the most unmemorable albums I'd heard in a long time. And I really wanted to give it a go. I played it and played it and played it. But if you'd have asked me after each play what my favourite song was, poster as well, what I enjoyed about it, I just wouldn't have been able to tell you. And I think I heard Steve Harmless Rebel say a similar sort of thing. So it wasn't really cheap. So I was kind of determined not to let it just sit on the record shelf and be done with it. So I got it off Amazon. So I had the MP3s as part of the deal. So I put it on my Walkman and I listened to it going to work. I walked to work, so I listened to it going to work. I listened to it coming home for a couple of days straight. And when I had no distractions, I almost forgot this was on. But when I had no distractions, I started getting into it, and certainly the first. So it's a double LP. I'm not going to get these out because it's just the black vinyl, and it's been shown before. Double LP. The first album. So the songs "Win Hands Down," "Mess," "An Exercise in Debauchery." They're actually really good tracks. I really like those. A few of the others are, they're just not catchy enough. The other thing that bugs me about this is, and this may well be the case for all the sort of modern double albums that are coming out now, that the records themselves play at 45 RPM, and so many times I put it on, and every time I switch on my turntable, it defaults to 33 RPM. And I've got 2 or 3 minutes into it, and I've not realised it's on the wrong speed until maybe the singing starts. I think, oh, well, that doesn't quite sound like Armoured Saint that I've put on. So it does bug me that this plays at 45 RPM, like a couple of 12-inch singles. But I'm glad I persevered with it. I enjoy it a lot more, but I don't think it's a great album at all. Next up, this was a really good deal on Amazon UK. Testament, Formation of Damnation. It says limited vinyl on the front. You can see on here, but I'm not sure how many copies it is. It's a single album on gatefold, the lyrics, and there's the back. It's a great album. I mean, this is Testament. I love Testament, and they didn't let me down with this one. This is really cool. So it's a Nuclear Blast pressing from 2008. Love the music. Not so impressed by the packaging. The gatefold's okay. It's a single album, so I'm not quite sure it needs to be a gatefold, but it seems to be everything is these days. The actual sleeve it came in is just plain white paper. It's not polylined or anything. And the actual record itself doesn't feel particularly well made. There's a custom labels, but the hole in the middle, you probably can't see there, but there's a burr all the way around where it's been kind of drilled through but not finished off. and the edges just feel rough. It just doesn't feel like it. I mean, it's not 180 gram vinyl. It just feels like a fairly cheap repressing. It sounds good. I'll give it that. It sounds good, and I got it as a cheap price, so I shouldn't really. I don't want complaining. I like to complain, but yeah, happy to have it in the collection. It's a great album. Just feels that they didn't do a great job with the packaging. Last up, again another new band. Now this is another one that I found on Bandcamp, and thankfully a band that also so Bandcamp sells a lot of MP3s. A lot of bands then release stuff on CD, but some of them have vinyl as well. And this is a band that has vinyl. We're a little late to the party. They had they got a version of this. So this is Terminus, the Reaper Spiral. They had a blue vinyl version of this, 250 copies. That was already sold out by the time I even came across this band. This is the black vinyl. This is limited to 500, but this is kind of straight up, heavy metal. It's I've really got into it. It took them a while to send it to me, actually. I was trying to get them to send me a signed copy, but because it was over Christmas and they weren't having band rehearsals or what have you, they were really responsive. I think it's David Gillespie, the drummer, was the guy that was emailing me, and he just couldn't get people together. So I just said, "Oh, forget it, just send it." I'm not that big a fanboy. Yeah, so in the time that I was waiting for this to come, when you buy anything on Bandcamp, physical, it's like CD or vinyl, you can actually download sort of high quality digital versions. So I've been listening to this for a couple of weeks, and really, it was a slow burn to start with, but really kind of got into it. The vocals are very prominent on this. Sort of, it feels like they're a lot louder than the rest of the music. So when the guy's singing, it's it's about him singing, and the music feels a little bit more background. Even when there's a bit of a break and there's the odd guitar solo that's in there. There's not many guitar solos as such in this, but they just seem a little bit more subdued. But certainly the vinyl sounds a lot richer, and a lot of, you can imagine it sounds much better than listening to MP3s on my Walkman. In fact, when I got this is the first time I actually listened to it out loud without headphones. So as I say, a band called Terminus. It comes in this nice printed PVC cover. The cover itself, which I've got sideways, is screen printed. Really nicely done. It's not a gatefold, but it's very, very nice artwork on it. One thing I read yesterday when I was trying to do a bit of prep for this video is, and one thing I didn't realise is, so this band, they're from Northern Ireland in the UK, and the whole album is kind of themed around Asimov novels. So all the songs here are references to some of his work, which I'm not familiar with at all. But yeah, it's really good. It really hangs well together. So this is called the Reaper Spiral. I would thoroughly recommend you. I'll put a link below. Check them out on their Bandcamp page. You can listen to MP3s or online to get a taste of what they're like. I'd recommend listening to Poseidon's Children. I think that's the one. Yeah, Poseidon's Children is a great track, but it doesn't have an A side and a B side. It has a heavy side and a metal side. But yeah, really good. Something a little bit different. Not your. I wouldn't say it's your traditional new wave of heavy metal sound at all. It's more of a modern sound. But I really dig this. I would thoroughly recommend you going to the Bandcamp and checking these guys out. Okay, coming up on 20 minutes. Fair few to go through. Yeah, let me know if you've got any thoughts on these ones. Oh, I should have said so. Final Sign as well. I mean, that's also, you can have a listen to that on their Bandcamp site as well. Let me know what you think of the records, some of the CD choices. do you agree with my my thoughts on the first couple I've shown, or should I perhaps give them another go? I don't know. Okay, thanks for watching. So I'm actually got a birthday next week, so I've got lots of plans to go out and spend money in record shops. So there'll be another 80s update soon. There'll be a non-80s update because I've bought quite a few things online already in preparation for my birthday. So I want the day to go with a bit of new metal, not new metal, but new metal, and yeah, and there'll be another episode of my 3 random records coming up as well, so I have all the numbers for that. So hope you enjoyed watching this. Please subscribe if you haven't and you want to, like it, but leave a comment. Let's talk some metal. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.